If you think the swamp is only in Washington, D.C., it's in South Bend, Indiana as well. So we have another interesting lawsuit. So we noticed a story that Mayor Pete Buttigieg, he's running for president in the Democratic primary. He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. And I think NBC News had a story highlighting how wonderful it was. He worked with this outside group, this activist group, to create municipal ID cards for illegal aliens. So this is a sanctuary policy that Mayor Buttigieg came up with this outside left-wing group to provide ID cards for illegal aliens. So we do what Judicial Watch does. We ask for documents about this whole program. What was the mayor's office doing? And just basic information requests about communications back and forth about this ID card scheme. Because what happened is the mayor, well, I'll give you the report. The South Bend Tribune reported a nonprofit Latino advocacy group unveiled a new identification card it hopes will make life easier for undocumented immigrants who live in South Bend. Casa de Amistad are the creators of SBID. Mayor Buttigieg reportedly worked closely with Casa and the nonprofit's executive director to create a community resident card. Buttigieg's part to make it all work was to sign an executive order requiring local services and institutions like law enforcement, schools, the water utility, and the libraries to accept the card as a valid form of identification. So what they're doing is they created this card to make it easier for illegal aliens to reside illegally, contrary to law, here in the United States, and specifically in South Bend. So we've been doing this for a long time, these open records requests. And what was going on here, we asked for the basic information, and we immediately started getting the runaround. They said, well, narrow your request. We tried to narrow the request, and they were just giving us the runaround and playing a shell game with us. And we saw through that, and so we sued under the Indiana, it's not called FOIA, it's the Access to Public Records Act. Because, and in response, Buttigieg's campaign attacks us on a non-related issue. I forget even what the attack was. They call it a stunt. So it's a stunt when we seek to enforce the law against the mayor on documents. And the stunt is, really, it looks like the mayor's administration was working with this outside group to create this document program because they were worried that if they did it with government work, if they did it via the government, too much information about the aliens might become public. Now, we're not asking for the names of the illegal aliens, but we want to know about this scheme to avoid the open disclosure laws, the open records laws, to create this sanctuary policy for illegal aliens. And in response to our lawsuit, the activists in South Bend are essentially confirming it. This is why we didn't want us. This is why we did it the way we did it, because we didn't want this information to come out. Proving our point. So I think this is a real interesting case because A, it's an important issue because of the illegal alien crisis and the support that certain government officials want to provide to help illegal aliens reside here in violation of the law, undermining any ability to control the border, undermining the public safety, undermining the rule of law. And in this case, Mayor Buttigieg and his administration are willing to break, it looks to us, as we allege in the lawsuit, the open records law in order to do it. So we're going to see what's going to happen here, whether the court's going to buy into this or not. But we hope that this cover-up ends by Mayor Buttigieg's administration. We've faced nothing but games, and we hope it ends. I mean, this is the sort of silliness that frustrates me because Typically, we wouldn't have to sue for documents like this, but we've had to get a lawyer in South Bend. We've got our own legal staff working on this to get this basic information. If the mayor's so proud of it, release details of his involvement in setting it up, which they refuse to do. I mean, if you think the swamp is only in Washington, D.C., it's in South Bend, Indiana as well. This lawsuit shows that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.